Welcome. Welcome to Ugg Nation Live. This is a daily broadcast. Mostly. In fact, I don't think I was not live yesterday. I was on the road at this time. Well, you be quiet, sir. And but it is a daily practice because I feel I get so much benefit from taking a moment each day, the start of my day, I don't know whatever time it is for you, but just to connect with fellow big-hearted, open-minded people doing their best to be love ambassadors. And whoa, if that scares you off, like whoa, I'm just listening. I didn't sign up for any. Being a love ambassador is something you're fully qualified for, and you've already been deputized. It just means that you remind yourself occasionally of what are the ways that you can show up in the world and take advantage of little ways that you can be kind, compassionate, patient, little ways that you might have a gift that you could share, whether that is your time, your attention, a ride, an opening of a door, a sincere compliment. And guess what? We have those every day. And if we can simply, consciously add love, compassion, kindness, connection into those little interactions, it starts to impact all of our interactions, starts to impact the way people react to us, and literally changes the world. Certainly our worlds, the worlds that we experience in a physical way. And that's another reason why I like to do this, is because I need the reminder that the world as presented to me by social media is a distortion. If I don't check my phone and my computer and I go through the world and I encounter human beings and I encounter situations, I find a radically more compassionate, friendly world. And so this is a reminder to each other, right? The news wants to tell us that there are so many people out there that disagree with you. So many people out there that are fighting for things that you're against. There's so many people that are dismantling what you love. This practice is not a denial. It is not a head in the sand. It is not a bypassing. It is a reminder that the world is vast with billions and billions of people. And literally billions of those people would rather hug you than hurt you. And if we can counteract the messaging of fear that is such a useful tool of manipulation for us, for them. And by them, I mean the people with extreme, disproportionate amounts of money and power, who are extremely well served by pushing us down our Maslow hierarchy from self-actualization down, 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 down into fearing for our basic safety, fearing for our core survival needs. If we are pushed into that place by media, by messaging, by bot farms, by foreign AI scripts, then we, in our attempt to find safety and comfort in belonging with an us, the them gets attached to things that would be in our best interest. I come out on the liberal side of most politics because I want to fund social programs. I want to reduce wealth inequality. I want teachers to be making more money. I want healthcare to be universal and free. if you are convinced that those things are not true, we should not have health care, that we should not value teachers, we should not be valuing education of our children. I would be open to listening to your reasons why those things are not valuable, and I would suggest that who benefits from a future with a population that is ignorant and in debt? Okay, that was down the direction of why we need gratitude. Let's get back to what we're grateful for. I would love to hear from you. My name is John Halcyon Stinn. This is a daily practice that began daily during COVID lockdowns, but Hug Nation, a gathering of connection through the internet, has been going on since 2001 on a weekly basis. So, welcome. If this is your first time, welcome. If you have been participating and consider this part of your extended digital family for years and years, it is a treat to see you again. Good morning, Gerbot. Good morning. Good morning, Annalise. Good morning. I am grateful for my friend Scott. He was my best friend in high school, and we supported each other through a very formative part of our youth. And I think both of us are very driven by our desire to be good men. Now, he is an attorney and has, in many ways, more traditional lifestyle. So it's so cool for me to know intimately, not intimately like biblically, but really know the inner compass of someone who is participating in the system at this high traditional level. And so we got to talk yesterday about some of the current climate, some of our fears around it. He's very smart and very well read, so he helped show me parallels in certain things in history that I was unaware of, and it's because when you have a longtime friend that knows your heart, you can feel safe saying things that maybe are considered dangerous or could have him go, what? Gosh, there's something that came up yesterday that as we're talking, I was like, oh, I think I just had an epiphany. Maybe I'll share that epiphany momentarily. But first I will say, Gerbot says, grateful for good health and for this gratitude practice. Me too. Hi, High Noon. Grateful being here now. Me too. If you might notice, my here right now is a little different. This is the altar at the foot of my bed, Lisa and I's bed. I'm in this room on the other side of the house because Lisa is leading a Zoom broadcast on the other side of the house, which I'm actually going to join her for the end of hers, which is so cool that we get to do that kind of thing, and that I have so much admiration and respect for her. Yeah. Good morning, Chris. Chris says, grateful that at a party I attended yesterday, 2 people guessed I was 12 years younger than I am. Shallow, I know, but my ego was grateful. Good for you. I had someone guess that I was 10 years older than I am yesterday. And I had a conversation with my mom the other day where she was being pretty brutal with her criticisms of my hair and beard, saying, why are you intentionally making yourself look so old? To which I said, actually I had a long answer. There's a bunch of reasons. One is because been so intentional about cultivating my look and appearance for so long, and bleaching and coloring and grooming, and that I am really enjoying the process of simply allowing my appearance to unfold as nature wants it to. I mean, I'm still using product in my hair and I'm trimming certain areas a little bit, but my mentor, who's got a awesome ass beard, is the one that said you should grow a beard initially. When I asked him for some his beard philosophy, he's like, a lot of people like to trim it and shape it. I really embrace the idea that this is the wild me. And I'm like, oh man, okay. But there's another reason that as I was talking to my mom, I think although I've healed so much, I still have like a desire and a need to be different. And I don't want to be boring, and like a fear of being just like an invisible middle-aged man. And so I held on to my youthful burner, alternative, radically self-expressed pink person for as long as I can. And I might return. But by then embracing what's unfolding in my appearance, I've gone straight from the outer edge of youthful, I think, skipped middle age looking, and gone straight to wise elder. And since I'm not on the prowl to try to seduce women who might be attracted to a young, you know, young looking man, it lets off the pressure. I told Lisa, I'm like, look, you are, I looked particularly wild yesterday. Sometimes I'll like turn my beard into like a President Taft style beard, and my hair will be especially, impressive. And I'm like, Lisa, I just want to thank you for helping me heal my child, teen, young adult vanity. You were helping me to let go the poison taint of vanity. She was busting up laughing because what I'm basically saying is, thanks for loving me even though I look ridiculous. Not just loving me, finding me attractive, And I think it's a thing that we're doing together, I tell her frequently, like, I think you are the most beautiful, sexy woman in the world, and I love the idea of getting old with you. Because I notice things that are different in my body and my hair and all the things, and I don't want to continually worry that I don't look as good as I used to. I want both of us to embrace this process and know that it doesn't matter, that the attraction is so deep. And if there are like little details, like if I keep getting soup in my beard, that's one of her rules. Like she had a mentor that often would have food in their beard, and she goes, I can't handle that. So if that gets the case, we'll have a talk. And if there's something that we're like, I'm starting to notice that, could we talk about, I don't know, whatever it might be. Like, Lisa, you keep making those lip injections so that your lips are like 5 times the size of normal, and like, I know that you love it, but that's not the case. She has never done that. Chris says, the Rizzard! Yeah. I haven't yet even posted that Rizzard video. For Rizzard is a wizard with Riz, right? A Rizzard. I'm a Rizzard now. But when I filmed the video a couple of months ago, like, I look way more Gandalf-y now. So I feel like I gotta do an update. Oh my gosh, it's raining here. Amazing. I'm also grateful for my friend Michael, who had a birthday gathering last night. It was actually a birthday party for like 6 people who's had September birthdays. And he has this beautiful property up on a hilltop, and sunset was gorgeous. And he did this thing where there was like a scavenger slash talent hunt, and to do these tasks around his property and find things and take pictures doing this and that. And I wasn't in the mood to play the game, so I was just having some one-on-one nice long conversations with people, which has been one of the ways that a friend of mine really helped me see a different way to party rather than being like super high and butterflying around, having a couple long, deep conversations with people. And so I had a couple long, deep conversations with people that I've known for years and have never really dropped in with. And so it was really valuable. I'm so grateful for the opportunity. But I'm grateful for Michael because he had everybody gather together, and then he kind of gave a little birthday speech, and then had every other person whose birthday was have a few minutes on the microphone. And it was so selfless the way he did it. And it was like, most of what he shared was celebrating his friends and the community, and celebrating the growth that we get to witness in each other over the years. You know, I mean, there's still a healthy amount of youthful party energy in this group, but it is paired with a lot of responsibility and successful people with beautiful families and incredible careers, and people doing good in the world, not just Peter Pan burners, and but also not abandoning these traces of themselves that they love. There was this friend named Max who shared that his actual birthday was last week, and he went to this Psytrance event with his family and friends and his kids. And and they went early, and so he was dancing and just really so full of joy that he could experience the same old things that he loved without abandoning the old stuff. I mean, he goes, I was home by 11, but he was saying, I love that we can give our kids the things that we didn't receive. And one of the things that he received was, that he got as a grown up was, a community of artists and burners and supportive, creative people. And so he wants his child to live in a world like that. And I hope he doesn't mind, but he gave me this really cool 3D printed like neon dragon that I then gifted to Asher. And I got to tell him, like, hey, this week Asher and I were playing on webcam, and he had a black light and the dragon, and we were playing games back and forth with this toy that he had created and gifted to me, and then I got to include it in my relationship with Asher. It was beautiful. And he said that his kids, he made some more dragons to give away, and the kids said, "Can we give him more? Give him?" And he took a moment to kind of teach them how gifting can be magical, and how don't just shove it in someone's hand. Connect with someone, find a moment of shared experience, and then use this gift as a way to share an experience and a moment with somebody. And I just thought that was so incredible. What a cool thing to be prioritizing in children. Victoria says, grateful for the new older me. Juan says, greetings from Mexico. Hola. Gerbot says, that's awesome. A great way to celebrate. Yeah. I had another beautiful talk with a friend named Zoe, who is, she teaches children like aerial arts. And we had this incredible conversation about how how long it took her in her life for like an incredible coach to point out that she needs to learn how to be coached better. And 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 so now as she teaches children, she prioritizes how well they take direction, how well they can listen and try to improve, as opposed to being focused on the performance and the excellence and, good job, you really executed great. You guys need to do more work. It's like, here's what you could do better. Here's where you can do this. And then as they listen, like, great job taking the refinements, as she understands that there's really almost nothing more important than that skill. That if a kid or an adult can learn how to not bristle with self judgment, with defensiveness when they are given constructive criticism and feedback, that is the ticket for so much success in life. And it's something that I traditionally have not been good at. And there's many activities that I have quit because I have such a difficult time with that experience of, I'm not good at this, and I don't like the way that feels, and I don't like hearing that I'm not doing it good. Shut up, coach! I hate my coach. And it was so cool to hear her talking about how she's doing this with children, and that's like the exact classroom that I'm in now, where I am going to choir, going to chorus practice, because it's hard to not be good. It's hard to keep doing something and continually have that feeling of like, I didn't do it right. I didn't do it right. But the goal is to not have the feeling, I didn't do it right. Just be like, let's practice again. I see what I can do better. What a opportunity to do better. And along those lines, and I can't remember now if I've mentioned this, but the last men's group I did, there was something that I felt like I didn't do a good job. And although I didn't get any bad feedback, there's some things that I did that I didn't plan to do. And I think I did it because I was starting to like doubt myself. And there was a gentleman in the group that is a really talented, very experienced facilitator of groups. And I think that's one reason why I was actually more self-critical, is because I felt like this old trauma wounds. I always think everybody's going like, that's how you parallel park. That's how you do that. People aren't doing that, but I project that into everybody. And so I knew that I should reach out to him and ask for his thoughts, and genuinely say, I want to be better. Can you help and share with me anything that you think could have been done differently that might have had a positive impact? And I put it off for a number of days because I just didn't want to hear why I'm not good. But luckily, finally scheduled some time, and he was very generous with his time and very complimentary. He's like, I thought it was great. And then, what do you particularly? And I kind of mentioned some things. He goes, okay, well, and he gave me this really astute understanding of ways I did things that could have been done slightly different, or the reasons why he wasn't as motivated to speak in certain moments because of the slight way that I phrased the question, and it was so helpful. And so I left the call feeling like way better about how the event actually went, and with an understanding and a like enhanced skills so that I can do better next time. So huzzah for growth and learning, and getting over the not getting over, working through continually the ego fear of being of feeling like not enough, or that if I'm not good, people won't like me, or what all those wounds that can really sabotage us. Juan says, I'm grateful for spending time with my 91-year-old mom. Flora and I go to church every day here in Mexico. What a treasure! What a beautiful gift. Another one of my great conversations last night was with a friend who's about to go hang out with their family. And to get to just really remind each other what a treasure that is to have a good relationship with your parents and not to take it for granted. So I'm glad that you're able to do that. That's great, Juan. Thank you for sharing. High Noon says, I loved asking the little humans I coached, what is it that you want to learn in this hour or days with me? I wanted them to be a part of the process. That's cool. They're like, I want to learn how to start fires. You're like, okay. I can't tell. I can't do that. Gerbot says, embrace the beginner's mind. That's one of those things that I have no problem saying that aloud and telling you, embrace the beginner mind. Failure is simply the next step towards growth. Learn to embrace failure. But those are just words, and they're not easy for me. But that's why we gotta remind each other. That's why I try to share my struggles with it, so that hopefully other people that are struggling know that, yeah, it's a process. And the more that we can become aware of the parts of ourselves that are speaking in the less helpful ways, we can make some space between who we are and that voice. Like before, when I was psyching up to call this friend, I'm like, look, a part of you is not going to like this. A part of you is going to want to bristle or defend, or more likely that part of me is going to go, you suck at everything. You always suck, But my practice has always been, if I can observe that, I have more power and more control and more choice in how much that version of myself is in control. Victoria says, ooh, but coaching is a two-way street. I had a coach tell me that the art that inspired me isn't valid. That was not good coaching. No, that's not good coaching. A good coach would ask why they inspire. What about them touches me? You can't tell someone that what they find moving isn't relevant. Yeah, that's a bummer. And that's also so true that most people, I think, have somebody or buddies, their parents or coaches or teachers or something, that while they were doing the best they can, they put into us aspects that shut down our connection to inspiration and put fear around, So through Lisa, I meet so many people that are like, oh, I can't sing. I sang when I was a kid, and my mom said, stop your screeching, and I just can't do it. Or like, a lot of people have stories like that. A lot of people have coaches that like, no, don't. It's unfortunate. But that's life, right? You spend your first 20 years figuring out who you are, and the rest of your life removing it all and figuring out that most of that ain't really me. Victoria says, making bad work is part of making good work. You have to embrace making mistakes to improve. I should tattoo that on my thighs. So true. Amen, says Gerbot. Beginner mindset is so key. I'm gonna have to go shortly, but I think I put as the title of this broadcast, Holding Space and the Joy of Holding Space. And I just, this week, well, I guess just in recent months, I know so many people that are going through very hard times. And there's three examples in the last 24 hours, 48, maybe 48 hours, but where I had the blessing, the trusted opportunity, and I made myself available as much as possible to people that are going through tough things. And one person is someone whose brother has been given 2 weeks to live, or 2 good weeks before their cognitive is they're not going to be the same person. And so I spent a long time with them, and it was so, it's hard to find the right word, rewarding. It felt like being able to be in the presence and hear and receive the uncertainty and the questioning, and to have dialogue, and to truly really to explore all these avenues of thought that spin off of mortality, and what if I had 2 weeks, and just to be like, afterwards a friend was like, how are you doing, how are you feeling after that? And I was like, and a part of me even felt guilty to even say this out loud, but I was like, the dominant feeling in my body right now is gratitude. I'm I'm grateful for these relationships, and I'm so grateful that I was able to be there for this person so intently and purposely and so present. And I know that it benefited us both. We were both better off because of that time. And it doesn't make any of the sad and the grief go away, but it really was I think a testament to this gratitude practice where, yes, there's crap. And even while it's knee deep, I'm able to really be enjoying this cone. I had another friend that really was going through something super intense. And then last night at the party, I saw a guy that I didn't know sitting by himself outside. And normally, I think old me probably would not have approached him. But I came up and I was like, would you prefer to be alone? He's like, I mean, you're welcome to sit. And I sit down, and he's like, I'm not in a good headspace, and I just don't want to bring down the party. And I was like, I'd love to listen. I'd love to hear what's going on with you. And he, while at the party, had gotten a breakup text. And so I, listened for a little bit and asked him questions, and then when it felt appropriate, I shared with him my story and how, my 3 years ago I had a breakup that destroyed me. My heart was broken in a way I had not felt since college, and maybe worse than that. Maybe the worst heartbreak I've ever felt. And it led me to sobriety, and it led me to therapy, and it led me to commitment to growth, and allowed me to become the person that was able to be there, ready, and open to connect with Lisa. I said, I'm engaged now. No way that would happen without that heartbreak 3 years ago. No way. And I know that this, I don't mean to minimize your pain at all. But just in case that gives you a little light, like, we just never know how our future selves will look back on the pain that we're having now. And so if you can just bring a little bit of that possibility into your present suffering, I think it there's a there's it, it can take a blind, unfair victim pain and turn it into a really not enjoyable but potentially valuable thing. All right, I'm talking a bunch. I have to go very soon. So, good morning, Mingle. I love you too. Gervat, I love my problems. Right. Oh, man. Oh, man. I'm every day finding myself, my heart, trying to continue to keep my heart open to the suffering of the world and magnifying my gratitude for even the hard things. Did I tell you that I got in a fender bender and I hit it, my fault, first time ever, parking, I scratched someone. Like 2 days after I got it back from getting repaired and back to perfect condition, after I was leaving choir practice and I scratched Lisa's car and mine. So I did almost the exact same thing. And I'm so grateful for so many parts of that. One, I'm so grateful that it was her. So everything that we had to, I don't have to like leave a note for a stranger and go through this whole, and at the end of the day, it's not a big problem. It's just and I've been, so many things in my life like that. Oh no, like we had flooding in the basement right now. We got fans running. But you know what? All my stuff was in plastic bins. I love my problems. I love my problems. But it'd be easy to spin out and focus all about fucking this and this and this and this. Okay. Violetta's too cozy. Me says, I'm stretching for the hug part because you folks are good at it. All right, yeah, let's do a little stretch. Because I'm going to have to go. I don't have to. I'm being welcomed into Lisa's, so I'm going to go do that. But thanks for joining me. I really appreciate this opportunity to connect and be reminded of the people in my neighborhood. Thank you for being you and being a love ambassador and helping me to remember that there's the news. This is what's going on in the world. And then there's this news. This is what's going on in the world. Us, people learning, people growing, people marrying and having kids and dying and grieving and growing, forgiving. That's news too. So thank you for being part of the news. Wherever you are, give yourself a big old squeeze. Feel yourself in this embrace. Feel my arms, feel the arms of everyone here. Hold your own beautiful spirit tight. Forgive yourself for all the little things that parts of your mind are judging you on or resenting or, oh, I should have done, I'm not there. Yeah, you're here, you've made it this far, good job. Let's be loving and kind to ourselves, and let's be loving and kind to all we pass, knowing that everyone is going through some sort of struggle. So let's celebrate that shared human experience, celebrating one of those gratitude and connection as we take a deep breath in and squeeze. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and all of you beautiful love ambassadors, thanks for being here for this Hug Nation Live. This is daily at 9 a.m., 98% of the days. There's also gratitude circles at noon and an upcoming choir performance and all sorts of stuff. Find everything of mine at lifestudent.com. There's also a new Stay Sparked episode, which is now linked at staysparked.com. All right. Love you. Have a beautiful day.